I think in an ideal golden age kind of society where everybody's focused on how they can not only have abundance in their own life, but how that abundance can overflow, how they can be a positive influence on the world around them and help make others more satisfied because that's what satisfies them also. I think that in that situation there would be a lot more than what we have easily available now as far as ways of healing sicknesses and diseases. I think that the rainforest would be preserved. Finally, we would stop destroying so much, just so many different types of every kind of life form live in the rainforest. And we would probably find a lot of medicinal plants with properties that would be very healing for a lot of different sicknesses from there, from coral reefs, from other areas where there's a lot of diversity, and even areas where there isn't. Probably a lot of unexpected places. I know from reading the best-selling book, like over 5 million copies, Back to Eden, that there isn't a single synthetic compound that human science has ever been able to make that is close, even close, to as complex as the most basic forms in nature. Every naturally occurring form is much more intricate in its cellular structure and its genetic structure than the most complicated medicines that we've been able to make. So it's pretty clear from that there's a good chance of us finding some very healthy medicinal plants in nature, and not having to rely so heavily on chemicals which often have a lot of symptoms. Also, it wouldn't be so expensive. In fact, it would probably be just about free. Like, people would become healers because they wanted to be able to heal people, not because they wanted to make a lot of money, So, if you broke your arm, but you didn't have a lot to offer, you wouldn't have to worry about having to have your arm amputated, or whatever the case is. You would be healed and, shown respect for being a person, and you get to go on your way. Also, I think that people wouldn't have to be struggling so much because we'd stop making each other struggle so much so that we can try and not struggle so much ourselves. Cooperation, not competition, is how we're going to do that. And as a result of that, our great-grandparents wouldn't have to ever worry about, having to leave their house that they've lived in for years and years and go to a nursing home, and barely see their family and stuff like that, but there'd be more cohesion in families. We'd hang out with each other more and look after each other more. We'd have a lot more free time on our hands. Honestly, if we stopped dogging each other around so much, pretending that it's a dog-eat-dog world and dogging each other around so much, so we'd all have a lot more free time as part of that too. So I think that would be really beautiful. The families and stuff to hang out more, and medicine to be more available and abundant, and us to be cooperating, not competing. It's kind of one of the main ways that that's all possible.